Well, hello YouTube friends, and welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to do our 30-day review of our 2023 Polaris Slingshot R in Desert Sky color, orange. Different shade of orange than the Volt orange color, and then I think they had like one or two more orange colors. So, all different variations of orange. So what I wanted to talk about, like I said, we've had it for 30 couple days. Have to do the math on it, but just over 30 days. I've got just past 500 miles on it, so I've got to have the 500 mile service, which I'm going to book tomorrow, probably for Thursday, maybe, if they can get me in. And that'll be, the break-in period will be over. I guess the break-in period's technically over now, but I'm still taking it easy till I get that break-in oil out of it and get new oil in it. I just have everything checked out. The belt looks good and all, but I wanted to check it all out, you know, after 500 miles. So, what do we think after 30 days? Well, we love it. In fact, I watched a video from, you know, my process on buying anything, whether it's any of these, the truck, the car, the motorcycles. I researched the you-know-what out of it. And I scoured YouTube and Google, but mostly YouTube, for any video that I could find. I heard the good, I had the bad. Really, if you search for it, you won't find that many bads, except maybe for car guys that have never ridden a motorcycle or don't ride motorcycles. They tend to throw rocks at it. I mean, they'll say, I really like it, but why didn't you get a Miata? Which irks the you-know-what out of me, because I own a Miata. I've owned a hand and started counting. My camera thought that I was telling it no more recording, and it shut down on me. No, but I've owned British cars, you know, Triumphs, you know, MGBs, ridden in a lot, you know, had two different Triumphs, Audi TT, you know, I've had over 100 cars, so it's hard to keep track of them, but I've had a lot of sports cars, and always loved a sports car till you have a family. Once you have a family, it's kind of hard to have a sports car, but anyway, same with motorcycles, really. But you know, that's really the ones that tend to talk a lot. This thing is nothing like a Miata. The only thing that, to me, that's similar maybe to a Miata is the feel of the shifter. It's got a fantastic shifter, and Miatas have fantastic shifters. So it's a short shift for a manual, and I really, really like the transmission. Is fantastic. And then I was watching Consumer Reports guys. Again, neither one of them rode motorcycles. The larger guy on there was driving it, and you know, they were trying to make sense of it because there's nothing else really like it. Vanderhall's not even like this, you know. And the guy just said, "Whee!" He said that's the way he described it, and that's true. I mean, the other guy was riding with him and started going, "You can get a Miata for the same amount of money." Well, get a Miata, but you're not going to get this. And this is like an adult go-kart. It's more fun than I can just convey to you. I have zero regrets with it so far. Now, you guys know me. You know, the guys that follow me since I mean, I think my first couple of videos were still on a Harley, and then I got the Can-Am and had that for a little while, and then I got the Indian two-wheeler. And I know I said, probably never said it with the Can-Am, but I definitely said it with the Indian. I'll probably keep this thing. But I think in that one video, the last video when I did a review on the Indian, I said, unless something shiny comes out, well, that's not why I got that. So I don't want to say I'm going to keep this for a long time. I want to think that and want to say that, but you know, 2-3 years from now, they may come out with a new shiny, latest everything Slingshot that I like, and who knows? Who knows? But for right now, we're really loving it. I've ridden this more, driven this more than I rode the Indian in a short amount of time. In fact, I've shot this video like 6 times, and my camera's given out. My microphone didn't work. I mean, I talked for 17 minutes on one of them, and I was like, So I'm going to try to cut this short real quick. But yeah, Kathy sent me to the store, so I had to run to the store and then come back here and shoot this video. But yeah, drive it all the time. And the beauty of having a Slingshot versus a motorcycle, when you get to a certain age, I mean, younger, I can have well, I've got shorts and a t-shirt on now, but I could have, you know, shorts and a tank top and flip-flops or whatever, and hop in that and drive it. You don't have to have a helmet in North Carolina. You don't have to have a helmet in most states now. If you Google search it, it'll say, you know, they'll give you a wide list. I give my hands around when I talk because it shuts me down every time. But most states now, there's, I think Massachusetts maybe, I think you have to have a helmet. I know you have to in California. It's only 2 or 3 states, I think, left that make you wear a helmet for anybody. Some of them have, if they're under 21, if they're under 18, if your passenger is under that, they have to have. There's some weird one-off rules in there, but for the most part, most states now is no helmet. You would have to check with your own state to see if it's right. Some people like to wear helmets. Polaris likes for you to wear a helmet, so if they give one for somebody to test drive, they always have a helmet on. Plus, if you're doing a drive and talk, probably easier with a microphone in your helmet. But let's skip all that because I've talked too much already, and this is going to be another 17-minute video that I don't want. And we'll just go over all of the things that I've done to this one real quick. You know, I'll save anything that I don't like about it for another video, and I'll probably do a video about what I like and what I don't like. Right now, I like everything. I can't think of one thing on this vehicle that after 30 couple days that I would change, or that I haven't already changed. But I'm saying I can't think of a problem with this thing. You know, I did have a couple with the Indian where it didn't have this feature or that feature. I can't come up with anything on this. I've just added creature comfort type things. But I'm going to switch to my my Ace Pro camera, and we're going to do a walk around. I'll be using the microphone on it because this mic only works with the phone, unfortunately. So let's do that, and we'll walk around real quick and shorten this video up. All right, now we're back in business. So first thing that, I think the first thing I added was those Kemimoto bags. You can see it right there. Which they gave to me free to review, and they've been fantastic. This is not a review of them, so there won't be a disclaimer on my video. I'm not talking about those other than say that they're in there. You can watch my video if you want to hear about them. This Kemimoto bag, I bought it and paid for it myself, and this thing is fantastic. I did make a joke about this space, and I'll throw a picture up. I said it was a Keurig because it's just an indentation space there that made no sense to me. And then I saw this bag, and I found out actually Polaris has a bag too, but this bag was very reasonable price. I actually keep, so my Indian tool bag that I had won a gift card from Purple on 3 and used that gift card on this is an Indian tool set for IndianChieftain, Indian motorcycles. Everything in that works on this. So I guess because they're Polaris, it's a fantastic tool bag. It has, I recommend it highly. It's Cruise Tools Road Tech. This thing has a lot of space in it though. I mean, you can really put a lot in there. It has a, and then it has this zipper area here. So right here, there is a trickle charger plug, and then there's a USB right there. So, I mean, right now all I've done was that because I was going to put that in the glove box, and Kathy claimed it and said that was hers. So I couldn't do that. But I added that, and I added these. Remember the old cars that had the vent windows? Really, that's the way this functions. And Kathy likes it. She said that it really controlled the airflow quite a bit for her. Whether she wanted more or less, she would reach out and use it. I actually put this thing on there today. It was cheap. It's just a cheap, like, leatherette vinyl. They didn't have orange stitching, so I had to get red. Could have got black, I guess, but, or silver. Maybe silver will look better, but it was cheap. It's just so she don't have to put her hand on the bare metal if she wants to grab the oh my gosh bar. Now I put this top on it. This top is from Twist Dynamics. It's fantastic. It doesn't flutter, doesn't flip. It just stays solid. The roll bar is solid on it. I have one little problem I'll show you here in a second. That should be fixed tomorrow. And while I'm back here, I want to show you this too. So this piece and this piece, I bought new ones that have a speaker in them. So as a speaker that goes right here, the plug for the speaker is already in there. So real easy to set up, but I could only get them in black, a flat black. And I'd like to have them painted to match because I like having the orange there. And I'm also kind of debating because having a speaker right behind your head might be a little bit much for me. I don't know if I mean, I like my music a little bit loud, but blaring right behind my head, I might, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, this top is a real strong Velcro and a strap clip. and it's solid. It doesn't, I mean, you can see that might move right here. It doesn't flutter at all when you're driving it. The only problem I've had is this one bolt. I couldn't get that bolt in, and I didn't want to rim it out or anything. I just went as good as I could with it. And I've got a friend coming over tomorrow with some special tools and stuff, and we're going to try to fix that. But, you know, this doesn't budge. I can shake the whole car, or whole Slingshot, auto cycle, and not have any issues. I don't want to drive around like that, but I don't think it's a safety issue right now. So I added those things. I added the rear view mirror. Now the rear view mirror, and then I actually added this. This is an old thing I've had for years. This part was on my F-150. That was even older. It was from like my 2013 Jeep, I think. Bullet Point used to be bulletproof, and this is an original bulletproof. Check that. I love their stuff. I wish they made stuff specifically for the Slingshot, but I made it work. But you know, your rear view mirror view, you know, is, you've got this shark fin to deal with. So, but you get to see out a little bit, and that's all you really want, because you've got these side mirrors. I just like having something there. And then what I put in today was this Clockworks windshield, and man, oh man, that thing is fantastic. The factory windshield, I think, is a little shorter, and it's real dark black. This has the flip, like all the Clockworks. I've had Clockworks on every single one of my motorcycles, probably the last 3 motorcycles anyway. And I want to think, I'd have to go back and look, but I want to think I put some kind of flip windshield on that. Maybe I didn't, on the Can-Am. But this flips the air right over the top. I mean, you don't get wind in your face, but you get some air out of these vents on each side. But yeah, I mean, it's just like having a little air blowing on you. It's not. But it does. The factory one, I think, wrapped a little further around. I did notice a little more wind coming right here, but it's quieter in the cabin with this windshield versus the other one. And then having the top makes it even quieter in the cockpit. You know, there's a couple ways to think about these Slingshots, because people, gosh, it's dirty. People will say, well, it's a car. Oh, it's you know, it's the sticker which I'll put up there that's behind this bag from Polaris says this is a motorcycle, and then tells you to wear a helmet and all those kinds of things. I don't consider it a motorcycle. I mean, you won't see me at bike rallies trying to park this amongst the bikes. It's not a bike in my opinion, but it's not a car either. It's a one-of-a-kind vehicle. I actually, when I looked at it, they had a Vanderhall, you know, this is was brand new, and they had a brand new Vanderhall sitting right beside of it. There's 3 things I don't like about the Vanderhall. Kathy and I had sat in one in Daytona, and our shoulders touched because they're so narrow. They're horribly narrow. I think they're really good looking, especially with the side pipes. But they only come in front wheel drive, and they only come in automatic. So I didn't want an automatic front wheel drive sports car, and that I could not sit beside of somebody in without it being, you know, without us pushing shoulders. It's like sitting on an airline seat or something. So this is way roomier, and like I said, Kathy really likes it. She's already planning trips that we can do with it. So she's excited about it, and so we've enjoyed it. You know, if you're getting at that point where you're hitting an age or you have health issues that you can't ride 2 wheels anymore, this lets you have the same feeling of riding 2 wheels, much the same feeling than you know, than a lot of other things, and but gives you some of the freedom. I mean, the Can-Am was great. I have nothing bad to say about the Can-Am at all. But with the Can-Am, you're straddling, you know, you're straddling the seat and have handlebars, which is all good too. But it's a toy. They're all toys. Unless you buy a motorcycle and that's your primary transportation, it's a toy. And so we just opted for a different toy this time, and we're really liking it. So I mean, I love to put this in the curbs. I've been hanging curbs with it hard, downshifting, and just it just handles amazingly. I can't think of enough good things to say about it. Future things I may do to it, I am looking at the exhaust system. Now the exhaust comes out underneath the, I'm not sure if it's the driver's side or the passenger or right close to in between them. I know that the old ones came out on the passenger side, but they've got full exhaust systems that come back here, and then it has pipes on both sides here. And it has, you know, the one I was looking at has a surprisingly low rumble for a 4-cylinder. You know, if you guys looked it up, you'd be shocked when you heard the audio of it. It has a rumble to it. And that sound goes out the back instead of the sound being right here. So it makes it quieter in the cabin again. But one thing, like one thing I wanted to mention, like I tried to say a while ago, I think I got sidetracked, but you have to think of this as a motorcycle when you're, you know, so some of the comments I've read on others YouTube channels is people will say, again, why didn't you get a Miata? You could get a Miata for the same money. Well, I didn't want a Miata, and it's not a Miata. I wanted this. But then they'll say, well, you don't have windshield wipers. You don't have, what do you do if it rains? Well, it's waterproof inside. So what you do if it rains is you do the same thing you do on a motorcycle. You know, you put your rain gear on. You do everything you do on a motorcycle in weather, you do on this. So you look at it that way, from that perspective. You think about a motorcycle. It don't have heat. It don't have air. Your motorcycle doesn't have heat. It doesn't have air. Remember, Polaris calls this a motorcycle. So that's the things you think about. So we're going to, let me see if I can switch cameras. So that was the walk around video with the Ace Pro. Switch back to my iPhone camera because again, that's the microphone I have fits that works with the camera. I need to add an adapter so I can plug it in here. But listen, guys, I really appreciate. Listen, guys, I really appreciate. Okay. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to see you real soon. Take care.